Rasheed's got some shapes with him today. Rasheed really likes shapes. As a matter of fact, he likes them so much that he looks for them in the world around him. Like this book Rasheed's about to read. It's a rectangle. So is the box for the PlayStation game Rasheed wants to play. The disc inside? Well, that's a circle. These pictures Rasheed took with his really old camera? They kind of look like squares. And that really old camera looks like a rectangle. These colorful plates that Rasheed really likes, they're circles. And this guitar, it's a... I don't know what it is. Well, it doesn't matter, it's a shape. There's even shapes at dinner time. We have a square pizza box. The plate is a circle. So is the whole pizza. This slice of pizza is a triangle. Here you go, Rasheed. You ate it already? It doesn't matter what it is. If it's a shape, Rasheed likes it. The only thing Rasheed likes more than finding shapes is talking about what makes each and every one of them special. And that's what we're going to do right now. I've got some shapes on this whiteboard. And the shapes that I have here, we call these 2D shapes. We call them 2D because they're flat. Whereas, like 3D shapes, something that's 3D kind of sticks out at you. Something that's 2D is flat. So we call all these shapes 2D. And you'll learn what 2D means in, like second or third grade, but we're not too worried about that right now. But we're going to look at this shape right here. What we've got here is a rectangle, and I'm going to write that underneath there. I'm going to write rectangle. Rectangle. And a rectangle, there are a couple things that are special about rectangles. And when I say it's special about rectangles, every rectangle will have these things that are the same. Every rectangle has 4 sides. The sides are these things here, these edges that go around. These are the sides of a shape. And a rectangle has 4 of them. Let's count them up together. I'm going to draw a line through them as we count them. Count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's got 4 sides. Every rectangle has 4 sides. Doesn't matter what color it is, doesn't matter how big it is. If it's a rectangle, it's got 4 sides. Rectangles also have 4 corners. Corners are these little points right here where the sides come together. I drew a circle on that one. So we got 1 here, we got number 2, 3, 4. So it's got 4 corners. Every rectangle has 4 sides. 1, 2, 3, 4. Every rectangle has 4 corners. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And so we're going to look at this one here. I already drew the marks on them that I did before, but this is also a rectangle. I mean, it looks a little different. Like this one, it's going the long way. This one's standing up nice and tall. But even though it's standing up nice and tall, it's still a rectangle because it's got those same special things about it. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4 sides, and it's got 1, 2, 3, 4 corners. 4 sides, 4 corners. That's a rectangle. How about this thing right here? I mean, it kind of looks like that rectangle up there a little bit. But this is not a rectangle. This isn't even a shape. This is missing something very important that would make it a rectangle. It's missing a side right here. There's no side here. If it's just wide open. If we had a little like, a little bug flying in there, and not a very good looking bug, but there's the line, that's the way he's flying. If we had a bug, he could fly right inside there because it's missing a side. For something to be a 2D shape, it can't be missing any sides. It needs all of its sides. Every side needs to be closed. So I'm going to say that again because that's really important. For a shape to be a 2D shape, all sides must be closed. So this is not a 2D, this isn't a rectangle, and this isn't even a 2D shape. I'm going to draw an X through it because we're not even worried about that because it's missing a side. It's got a wide open side, so that's not even a shape. That's just a bunch of lines. So that's not a rectangle. So we're going to come over here. We're going to come to this thing. What shape do you think that is? Now, this one's really cool because if you would have said rectangle, And here's why you might say rectangle. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4 sides, and it's got 1, 2, 3, 4 corners. So that's a rectangle. That shape is a rectangle. But it's not only a rectangle. It is a rectangle. And I'll write that there. It is a rectangle. Because it's got its four, just like before, it's got 4 sides and 4 corners. But this one's a special rectangle. This one is also called a square. That's right. A square is actually a rectangle because it's got 4 sides and it's got 4 corners, but it's got something else special about it, and that is all of these sides are the same size. If you come up here and look at this rectangle or even that rectangle, you see like these 2 sides are a lot bigger than these 2 sides. But if we come down to the square, all 4 sides are the same. So a square is a rectangle because it's got 4 sides and 4 corners, but it's a special rectangle. That's why it gets its own name. And what's special about it again? All 4 sides are the same size. So that's a square. So if you ever see a square and somebody asks what shape it is and you guess rectangle, you're still right. But remember, it's a square because all 4 sides are the same size. Let's come down to this one down here. And this is what we call a triangle. Sorry for my messy handwriting. It's hard to hold the camera while I write. So that's a triangle. And what's special about a triangle is it's got, let's count up the sides. It's got 1, 2, 3 sides. I'm going to write that over here where I have some more room. It's got 3 sides. So all triangles have 3 sides. As a matter of fact, in the word triangle, the first 3 letters, T-R-I, the part that goes tri, that actually means 3. Tri means 3. When we have T-R-I, it means 3. So triangle means 3 sides. A triangle also has, if we count up the corners, it has 1, 2, 3 corners. So it's got 3 sides, 3 corners. All triangles have 3 sides and 3 corners. So let's go over that again real quickly before we go to our next shape. We've got our rectangle that's got 4 sides and 4 corners. We've got our square, which is also a rectangle because it's got 4 sides and 4 corners. But the thing that's special about a square is that all of its sides are the same size. We've got a triangle that has 3 sides, 1, 2, 3, and 3 corners, 1, 2, 3. And then we also remember that for something to be a shape, for it to be a 2D shape, it's got to have all its closed sides. So this is just a bunch of lines because, you know, we have wide open, we're missing a side there. It's wide open. So our next shape we're going to talk about is a little bit different. And I'm sure we know what this is called. This is a circle. I'm going to write that right here, circle. So we've got a circle. And a circle has, well, if you look at it, it doesn't have any sides and it doesn't have any corners. So a circle, but see, it's not, there aren't any spots that are missing. It's completely closed up. So it is a shape, but a circle has 0 sides and 0 corners. So I cleared off the board and drew a few more shapes, so let's practice a couple more real quickly. We got this shape right here. Let's see how many sides and how many corners it has. And so I got my marker again. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, whoops, and 5. So this shape has 5 sides. And let's see how many corners. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 corners. 5 sides, 5 corners. And a shape that's got 5 sides and 5 corners, it has a special name too. We call that a pentagon. Pentagon. We're not going to worry too much about that one, the name of that shape right now, but just know that we can count up the sides and the corners to figure out how many there are. So 5 sides, 5 corners, that's a pentagon. I got another shape down here. Let's count up these sides and corners. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's got 6 sides. And it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 corners. And this shape also has a special name. We call any shape that's got 6 sides and 6 corners, we call a hexagon. Ooh, look, Rasheed's got another shape. How many sides and corners does this one have?